Okay, so I wanted to weigh in on this um, birth control thing. I wanted to just weigh in because it's something that's recently affected my life, and with all the political crap going on and with Hit Record recently it being a hot topic, I thought, well, maybe this is the time to talk about it. So, for me, I contributed about a year ago to a video on Hit Record to a user, Scorch, who is struggling with polycystic ovarian disease. And it's something that I have struggled with for many years now, and it's kind of one of those silent illnesses. Whenever people talk about, you have to function. For me, I have 2 children, I work from home, I have other jobs and school and things that I do that require me to function. But some of the symptoms of polycystic ovarian disease, PCOD, PCOS, they can be completely debilitating. For me, it was endometriosis, severe menstrual pain, cramping, circulation issues, blood pressure. I remember going to the emergency room and having it be like in 152, and just really struggling with anxiety, struggling with depression, struggling with a really heavy menstrual cycle. And for me, I'm iron deficient anemic. That's one of those kind of hereditary things I have from my dad's side of the family, and where an average person, an average woman might lose 0.5 to 2 ounces of blood a day. For me, it was more like 8 to 12 ounces a day, and I would be pale. I would be fatigued and lethargic and unable to get out of bed, and just very sick, and horrible. And I had ovarian cancer when I was 17, and part of my woman area is already been through so much, adhesions and lesions and scars and poking and prodding and testing, and I had been told never to be on birth control, that it can mask the symptoms that you should be looking for. So I was very holistic about using a Diva cup rather than tampons, being able to manage my menstrual cycle naturally. But one of the side effects of PCOD that affected me dramatically in my 20s was infertility. And I was told I wouldn't be able to have children. And I was treated with everything short of in vitro. One of the drastic things was metformin and dieting and severe diet nutrition changes, and struggling with insulin, struggling with sugar cravings, struggling with what I'm allowed to eat, how many carbs and sugar things a day, and being aware of that and stressing about that, and dealing with, you're not going to have children. And that haunted me, and it changed really who I was for a long time. It contributed to a big self-destructive part of my life. But I had to manage, and I had to deal with it. But many years later, I met my husband. We had kind of a surprise pregnancy. And now here I am 5 years later, and we have 2 beautiful, healthy boys. But with that, I kind of decided that with all my ovarian cancer issues and my pain and monthly issue, it's monthly PCOD. There are just days where you're sick. It's functioning is very difficult. And I had gallbladder removal surgery, some complications from that, and further insulin issues and diet issues, and things that put me in the hospital. And it was a big deal. And so I sought treatment, and one of the things I thought of was I'm just going to take it all out, hysterectomy, and just take it all out. I'm only 30, but I'm just take it out. And doctors are now finding out, the generation before mine that got hysterectomies all the time, now are finding out that you need those organs. Before, during, and after menopause, naturally those organs do things for us, and that women that had them removed are having memory issues, neurological issues, bone loss, osteoporosis, cancers, brain tumors, a lot of really serious things. And I've always kind of felt unnatural about removing organs anyway. Taking my gallbladder was not my choice. And the specialist that I work with said, we're not going to be taking your organs, even with all your risks and pain. And I was kind of deflated. I thought, I'm going to have to continue to live like this. and it kind of sucks. But they recommended a birth control, a really high dose of a certain kind of birth control special for people with PCOD, and to give it a try. And for 3 months, I put myself, despite my intuitions and really kind of brainwashing against birth control, I put myself on this medication to manage these symptoms that affect me on a daily basis, and dealt with hormones and taking birth control. And I know that sometimes birth control gets flim-flammed around like it's just a pill that keeps people from having babies so they can go out and get drunk or something, that it's just a trendy little pocket pill like a candy button. But taking this birth control made me super sick. I mean, like food poisoning, diarrhea, vomiting, dehydration, going to the ER, having seizures, sick, super sick, physically and emotionally. I mean, I was crying at Chevy commercials. I locked my keys in my car and had a major meltdown. I was having very negative thoughts. I was calling my psychologist friends and colleagues and saying, I know something's wrong. I know I don't like myself on this. And doctors really just tell you, you have to wait it out. You got to wait it out. You got to wait it out. And after 3 months of absolute hell, which I can only contribute to being a better psychologist in the future, I made it through, but now I'm on a pill every day. Birth control, it will be so quickly said. And if I don't take this pill at the right time with certain food every day, I get sick, like morning sickness. Like when I was pregnant, everyone welcomed it and gave you all of your recommendations and think it's cute because it's a phase. But if I forget to take this pill, or I'm just at IKEA and the line runs a little long and then I get stuck in traffic, or maybe you stop for a sundae and then you look down and go, shit, I don't have my pill with me. Tomorrow I'm going to be sick. I will be sick. You know, has nothing to do with birth control. It has nothing to do with a baby or not having a baby. It has to do with managing PCOD so that I don't swell up and have a cyst that inflates my entire gut to where I can't wear pants and I'm in the fetal position on the cold bathroom floor praying for salvation kind of pain. It's a pill that I take so that I don't bleed out and pass out in the shower trying to wash my hair. It's a pill that I take that gives me enough energy to function and eat and work out and exercise and feel normal so that I can be a mom and a wife. And I don't necessarily like it. I definitely don't like being dependent upon something. And I definitely feel like it's a story that maybe people should maybe think about. You know, politically speaking, things are being passed where maybe this birth control that I have access to, luckily now, and I have a husband that works and we have health care, you know, that I pay for it, but that maybe it goes from being affordable to I can't afford it. Or maybe it goes from being available to not available. That creates an anxiety for me, because it would dramatically change my life. Again, having nothing to do with like having more kids or birth control, but just about not being sick, being able to function. Because you have an illness that maybe birth control helps to treat, because it helps to manage a menstrual cycle. And rather than being sick every day, I'm sick 1 week out of 3 months. And I learned to deal with just that. And I can do that because I'm used to being sick every day. There's lots of things I've learned to do and use to manage my symptoms and to be where I'm at now. And not all of it has been by choice. And some of it still has adverse side effects. And so that's kind of a part of my story. And those are the things I think about when people are arguing over birth control. But there you go.